Hello everyone, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus is one of the more, best phones Samsung's ever made for the most part. So let's go and see how this phone compares against probably one of my most favorite phones of all time, which was the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Now the Galaxy S10 Plus comes from the S10 dynasty of devices that Samsung made, the S10e, S10 and S10 Plus. Very good phones that Samsung made at that time in 2019. The S24 Plus is its successor like times 4. It's 5 years newer than the S10 Plus, and I love looking at the Plus series of devices. If you want to pick up some phones though that I would recommend buying this year, including the S24 Plus, links will be down in the description. You can get that from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now starting off with the outside of both these devices, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which came out back in 2019, on the front of this phone has a 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's 1440p and it's a very good looking panel. It's a hole punch display. Actually, it's like a dual hole punch display on the top right corner, and I think it looks very beautiful. It's a curved glass display. It looks so nice. Very thin bezels on the top and bottom, and this was like a futuristic looking device for the most part. Like, I love this phone and it still looks so good for the most part. And I, for one, I'm a massive fan of the way this particular phone looks from the front. I think it's a beautiful looking device. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus is a substantially better phone than the S10 Plus. It's crazy to even think that. The S24 Plus has a 6.7-inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED display. It's a 120Hz panel, 1440p, and get this, 2600 nits of brightness. That is substantially brighter than the S10 Plus's display. You will probably never need 100 or the 2600 nits of brightness, but it's still a nice touch to have. So you're already getting you're getting a bigger size display, but you're also getting 120Hz and a brighter display at that. That's a massive advantage for the S24 Plus. One of my most favorite things going on for that particular phone, for sure. On the bottom, USB Type-C ports on both with Samsung DeX. However, the S10 Plus does have an advantage up its sleeve. It does have a headphone jack, which is awesome, and it has a microSD card slot. That kind of stuff is very, very cool. I love having a phone like the S10 Plus, which is basically going to be giving me that type of capability. It's going to be basically giving you, an insane amount of I/O, which is amazing. I love being able to pop in an SD card and basically, doing whatever I want to do in that particular device. And you are essentially getting that on the S10 Plus, which is genuinely one of my most favorite things ever. I think with the S24 Plus, this is a very good phone, right? This is an amazing phone, but we have to give a little bit of credit to the S10 Plus. That one does have more I/O, which is beautiful. On the backside, glass backs on both. The S10 Plus had a triple camera setup at the top, kind of like running across the top of the phone. The S10 Plus also had a standard glass back. The S24 Plus has this triple camera setup on the top left corner, so I'm totally cool with that. Again, I love having it. I think it's a really cool thing. You're also going to be getting a frosted glass back on that particular device, which I think is a better type of glass back that you're getting on that particular phone, which is genuinely, again, a very, very cool thing. You're also going to be getting reverse wireless charging on both of these. You're getting wireless charging, but reverse and standard wireless charging, which is another really cool thing. And I will definitely tell you, on the outside of both of these, very cool stuff. I love both these phones from that perspective. And I do think if I'm going to go ahead and buy a phone, I wanted to have, I wanted to be able to, have a future ahead of it. And definitely with a device like the S24 Plus, you're going to be getting it. Maybe not so much with the S10 Plus, but from the outside, I like these phones from that perspective. They're very, very cool in my opinion. Now, another thing. From the camera side, very interesting thing going on here too. You're getting a triple camera setup on both these devices. So with the S10 Plus, you're getting a 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel telephoto, and then a 16 megapixel ultra-wide camera. With the S24 Plus, you're getting a 50 megapixel wide, 10 megapixel telephoto, and then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. So you're getting very good cameras on both, higher megapixels for sure on the S24 Plus. You're getting 4K at 60 on the front and the back of both these devices. So that's a big thing. Being able to just go through and essentially film in 4K at 60 on the front and the back is a very, very good thing. And this in and of itself is a very important thing for me that I actually like a lot about these devices. So again, personally for me, I love this from that particular perspective. On top of that, with this particular phone, you are getting 8K capability on the S24 Plus. Again, that is a very cool thing to have. And once again, for one, I love having this type of device. I love being able to just go through and just, pick up this phone and having 8K right in my pocket. I don't necessarily need it. I would never need that much, filming resolution on like a daily basis, but it's still a nice thing to have. And it's one of those nice to have features when it comes down to it. So I would tell you from a camera perspective, the S24 Plus already wins, but the other advantage of the S24 Plus is that it is actually giving you a kind of like a better experience on the social media side of things. So from social media applications, you're going to be getting a much better experience built in with those particular apps than on something like an S10 Plus. Now, I'm not just talking about sharing on social media. I'm talking about actually taking a good quality photo or video using the built-in camera, UI and the full-on camera from these phones, rather than just like an image of the phone, like on the S10 Plus. I think that's what they were doing at that time. Now it's a much better experience, and you're going to be getting that on the S24 Plus, which again is a very nice feature to have. So from the camera side, I definitely love my camera on the S24 Plus, and I love the S10 Plus too, but the S24 Plus is a much better experience here. Another kind of problem I was having with something like the S10 Plus nowadays is kind of the software experience. You are not really that updated on the software on the S10 Plus. I mean, you stopped getting software updates at Android 12. Kind of not a problem, but kind of a disadvantage there. Like if you're wanting to get a phone that does have kind of a software longevity ahead of it, the S10 Plus is not going to be giving you that. Phones like the S24 Plus are just getting started. Samsung did something unprecedented that they've never done before. The S24 Plus is basically giving you 7 years of software updates. I'm going to be a very old man in 7 years, and the fact that this phone is going to have that much software ahead of it is going to be so insane for me. So this in and of itself is another very cool thing and something I love a lot about this particular device. So this in and of itself is one reason why I look at something like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and I'd be like, I would not recommend buying this phone because of that. But then you look at a device like the Galaxy S24 Plus, and that is a much better phone in a lot of different ways. So this in and of itself is another thing I'd recommend doing here, just buying that phone and kind of, again, moving on with your life a little bit with the S24 Plus. Now, on the other side, from the performance side of things, the S24 Plus is going to be giving you that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset inside with 12 gigabytes of RAM. The Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be giving you that Snapdragon 855 chipset inside with 6 gigs or 8 gigs or 12 gigabytes of RAM. So you have a range here. I did have the 6 gig of RAM option when I did buy mine, but you can go up to 8 or 12, so you can theoretically get the same amount of RAM if you really want to. I don't know why you'd want to do that on the S10 Plus, but you have that type of capability. Now, the S10 Plus was a pretty good performing phone when it first came out, but I will tell you, there have been so many improvements since the S10 Plus. We had monumental chipsets like the 888 chipset, which was really good. The 8 Gen 1 was monumental in some ways, and now we're at the 8 Gen 3 on the S24 Plus. This is a very good chipset that you're going to be getting on the Galaxy S24 Plus. This in and of itself is again one of my most favorite things going on for this particular device, and I love this phone because of it. I love having my Galaxy S24 Plus here because it really is that great of a performing device. But with that being said, there are definitely phones out there that might be a little bit better for some people more than the S10 Plus. I think the S10 Plus is a great phone, and I think the performance is great, but you don't have to go all the way up to the Galaxy S24 Plus if you want the fastest performing phone. This is why it's so important to compare performance and compare everything, because yes, the S24 Plus is faster, but the S23 Plus is also faster than the S10 Plus. The S21 Plus is also faster than the S20 Plus as well. So you don't necessarily have to just look at the S10 Plus or the S24 Plus and say you have to upgrade to, that device. You can genuinely buy an S20 Plus or an S21 Plus and get a substantially faster phone. So what I can tell you is, to kind of sum up this whole entire video, I definitely do think the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus is the better phone in every single way. The only way the S10 Plus wins is probably with the microSD card slot and headphone jack, which may not even be that big of a deal anymore to most people. I would probably recommend every single person to go ahead and buy an S24 Plus. It's an excellent phone, but you should also look at the S23 Plus or the S22 Plus or the S21 Plus. Those are all solid phones as well. I'm massive fans of those devices, and it might make a little bit more sense to buy those ones, especially if you want to save some money. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.